So the world is chaotic, of course. We know this. We know that rounding up everybody is going to be like rounding up cats, and the World Health Organization knows this, and they want to be able to have treaties where they can declare national emergencies for health, and they can also chip people and punish them if they don't follow the World Health Organization's government mandates. And the World Economic Forum is backing these types of things, backing the digital ID, backing, as I said, there are a number of different proposals that were out in February of 2022 about the digital ID that were going to be presented, but they had to postpone because of the COVID thing. But they're using COVID as their basis as to why we need to have these types of identification. And what's weird about this whole thing, about this World Economic Forum meeting, is that this year, the World Economic Forum is going to get a little help from another source. And the elite government leaders and the corporate executives that will be attending the World Economic Forum this year are going to be part of something called a House of Psychedelics program with almost 40 sessions and speakers, including researchers, entrepreneurs, investors, and some who consider themselves shamans. The world leaders are going to inquire about how they might be able to use psychedelics in order to get inspiration and guidance to make decisions about world affairs. Substances that we've featured are MDMA, LSD, psilocybin, ayahuasca, and 5-MeO-DMT. 5-MeO-DMT, psilocybin, ayahuasca, LSD, MDMA. So most of these substances I've talked about here are still considered illegal, although a number of cities and states have decriminalized some. We've decriminalized most of them here in the state of Oregon. There will be at least 2 shaman that will be in attendance to demonstrate how these substances can be used for great benefit. Now, the psychedelic drug DMT we've talked about before. DMT is a very powerful drug. It's a substance that's made naturally in the human body, and it's something that's released when we have our near-death experiences. And so this drug DMT can conjure powerful visions. In low doses, we reported, with Chris and Sherry Geo, we reported that in low doses, people hallucinate fractal patterns, geometric shapes, and distortions in the physical space around them, but things get much stranger if higher doses of DMT are used. When people consume enough DMT to have a breakthrough experience, they often encounter beings commonly known as elves that seem to be autonomous. And they basically exist in a reality separate from our own. These elves, called machine elves, Terence McKenna called them machine elves, they're usually bald-headed, almond-eyed, and reptilian-like creatures that some describe as aliens or demons. So you have to ask yourself, why are they having a House of Psychedelics this year? Well, it's because they want to be able to open up certain dimensions of the brain and have, acquaintance and intercourse and whatever else they want to have with these little demons, these little creatures. The form and nature of DMT, these machine elves that they talk about, they vary in various reports. One thing remains curiously constant is that people tend to rank these encounters among the most meaningful experiences of their lives. For some people, these encounters change their beliefs about reality, the existence of an afterlife. It even changes their beliefs about God. A recent survey provides some of the most detailed information about these encounters to date, published in the Journal of Psychopharmacology. The survey includes responses from 2,561 adults about their single most memorable encounter with a being or beings, entities, after smoking or vaping DMT. DMT is an endogenous chemical, meaning the body produces it naturally. It's currently a Schedule I drug in the United States, and most respondents had used DMT about a dozen times in their life. The survey excluded experiences in which people consumed other drugs with DMT, and it didn't include experiences with ayahuasca, which is a brew that contains DMT. When people took DMT, even when they take ayahuasca, people described that they saw entities or they communicated with entities, and they did so in different ways. The most commonly chosen labels were, they called them guides, beings, spirits, aliens, helpers. Other labels selected by small proportions of respondents in the survey included the terms elf, angel, religious personage, or plant spirit. But very few people reported the terms gnome, monster, or a ghost. Some people, though, reported a negative encounter with what they what they determined to be a demon or a devil. Little demons, little devils when they did DMT. So when asked about the attributes of the entities, a major majority of the sample reported that the entities were conscious, intelligent, benevolent, and sacred. They had agency in the world, and they were positively judgmental. Fewer reported the entities were negatively judgmental or malicious. But many people have had experiences with these, what are called machine elves. That's the term that Terence McKenna gave them. But they're entities, they're beings, they're little demons, they're little archons, whatever you want to call them. About 2/3 of the respondents in this survey said they received a message, task, mission, or purpose or insight from the entities that they encountered during their DMT trips. So what kind of messages do they get from these entities? Well, some people were shown that death isn't the end, that everything and everyone is connected. Others had personal insights revealed to them, such as bad behaviors that they should stop. About 1/4 of respondents said that they were atheists before the encounter, but only 10% said that they were after. Opens up new doorways of perception when dealing with these psychedelics. And this is what the leaders of the World Economic Forum are going to participate in this go-round. So who are they trying to communicate with? Again, the motivator would be those entities that they wish to communicate while under the influence of psychedelics.